Hello, hello, Virgos. Hope you are doing fabulous. Welcome to the Sapphire Spider Oracle channel. Today we are doing a check-in for Lionsgate. I've got the Tarot Nefertari. And as I was just sitting here, just now, I definitely felt just a little pang in the heart chakra. Dead center, heart chakra. So, we'll tap into that. I got this beautiful Chrysocolla Malachite. It's a wonderful healing crystal. I have used this in a Mother Earth healing body layout before, and I had the most incredible inner journey. It was fabulous. It said, "Is this your card?" There's some of that magician energy in here. So let's see what's up. What's this first card here for Lionsgate? This Knave of Wands. It wants to go off of the definition in the book, which I kind of know, but let me read it off for us here. It says, for a knave, for the wand suit, it's dark-haired, faithful young man, a lover, an envoy, a messenger, sympathy in the family, good mutual understanding. I'm going to repeat that because it like really wants you to absorb that. So this card represents someone who is a dark-haired, faithful young man, a lover, an envoy, a messenger, sympathy in the family, and good mutual understanding. So what it's really pointing out to me, honestly, and this is because of a show I've watched, it's the word envoy. It's pointing out the word envoy because of that show Altered Carbon. And if you've never watched the show Altered Carbon on Netflix, I feel like that is such a eerie, dystopian view of what like actually happens to spirits and stuff. And it's like they just keep getting put into new bodies, and you can live for hundreds of years. It's like past lives, and if you do it too many times, your mind can get messed up, and you can remember part of these other lives you've lived while being in the life you're in. And like that is past life reincarnation theory, like to the max. Like anybody out here doing this spiritual work for real knows that you just experience things like that, and you just connect in that way. This crystal does it every time, y'all. That crystal cracks you open, man. There was a voice here that says, "I believe you." Because all that stuff that I was just talking about sounds really crazy to people who discredit that, right? Yeah, like there's people in that show that are like religious fanatics that are like very against all of that. And so it's just pointing out that, right, like some people don't get it. Some people don't understand it. Some people don't connect to their past lives. They don't remember things. And it's saying that they just don't know how. But there are people, and this may represent someone in particular to you, that believe you. And it said like you're very descriptive, and it's like they can paint a picture of these things, right? They can like see it in their mind's eye, and that's very much how it is, like through dreams or visions otherwise, right? You can usually see these little clips of like a past life or a life on another realm, something like that. So, and a page of wands, yes, like a page of wands often is a dream itself or a vision itself. It is an experience itself. So if it's not a person, this is very much an energy coming to you to say like, I believe you very much. That was a beautiful energy coming out here for Lionsgate. I always connect so much to Lionsgate. I'm telling y'all, I was a Syrian starseed. I am a Syrian starseed. I just like, I connect so much to this time and this season, and the spiritual energy just gets so strong for me at this time. And so it's just, it's crazy. I'm going to move this up a little bit. This Three of Cups, it kind of said the word like heart song. Heart song. Three of Cups usually represents a lot of joy and a bit of celebration. Not like a huge get together. It's like a little bitty party. It's like just a small group of people, a small group of friends, right? There's something here about these two women. They're both playing a certain instrument. It's really pointing out how this woman, I mean, it's kind of like a, I don't know what to call it. It's like a really long, thin neck guitar or something, right? Like a little tiny ukulele or something. I don't think it's a zither or whatever. And then the other one's a harp, though. And it was just pointing out how sharp this one instrument in particular is. And it was kind of pointing out how she's not really wearing much. And then this person's got this like long flowing dress on and this harp. And it's just bringing me to how when you see ladies playing harps, or you think of harps, you just think of like angels playing harps, or you think of like a woman in like a beautiful gown playing a harp. And it's very different from how this woman is playing an instrument. I don't know why that's bringing that up. That's what I'm saying. Like, this person's painting a picture, and it's just saying like these two women are playing two very different instruments in two very different ways. Something about it creates a harmony. It's kind of like talking about how, like, you know, if you have three people in a little band, right? They all play a different instrument. They all do it a different way, but together it creates harmony. There's something here about creating harmony. It's paying a lot of attention to this harp and that symbolism, though, and it's comparing like these instruments and things. So it is kind of paying attention. It's painting a picture for you. These cards are just like, I think it does want that one there. I want one there as well. No, it told me to wait. It told me to just wait on that. Okay, this is definitely, this was like someone approaching these people and they're like, help me. They were like, help me. It was like their voice was almost like they're very parched. Something was saying like they're very thirsty. Take that with a double entendre if you want to. And that's one thing. It was like, there's a voice talking. Hang on. It's like, when someone comes to the altar, you give them water if they're thirsty, right? And even if they come back the next day, you offer them water because they're thirsty. It's not about, there's kind of this message here about like we always offer the water. But some people, right, I was kind of talking about this, it's bringing me a lot of stuff right here. Oh, number one. When I was first getting started with being a certified crystal practitioner, I was a volunteer for my mom, and she did a crystal session on me, and I had this incredible, like, I call it my vision quest, because like this crystal body, like, it just took me somewhere. And there was this moment where there was this like high priest or chief or some figure like that, and there was something there about this shell, and it kept filling up with water, and so I drank from it, and then it filled back up, and I drank from it again, and it filled back up, and I realized the more I drank from this cup, the more it kept refilling, and I was getting faster and faster, and all of a sudden in my mind something was like, stop, like it's a trick, stop. And I was kind of like panicked about it, and that's when the spirit guide gave me my medicine at that time, and that's what I'm getting to with this Two of Wands. It said that, like, the water is always here. Like, you don't have to just chug and drink this water of, like, the spiritual waters. Like, spirit is always here. All right, spirit is always here. You can take time to have fun and relax and do some of these other little joyful things with people. You can have those times too, right? That's what I mean. Like, the cups are here. This joy is here. This friendship and happiness and love. Everything that comes with that Three of Cups feeling. Like, all of that's here. So, it's there if you're thirsty and you want some of it, right? But at the same time, recognize when you are just maybe kind of like overtaking, being almost gluttonous in that way of just drinking. It's like when people go to restaurants and they just suck down their drink before the waitress could ever bring them another refill, right? Like, it's very much that spirit energy of just like moderation. Even though we don't have the temperance card here, it's like there's this message here about like that moderation of like you just sip at it. Coming back to that altered carbon message, right? Like, if you go digging into all of your past lives and spiritual stuff before it's time for those things to kind of naturally flow to you and develop, that's when you can really start to make yourself unwell. This Two of Wands is about melancholy, about like in the same way of like Alexander the Great having the entire freaking world but being sad, right? Like, he looks out at the world and he's sad. This is about someone who's leaning on this cane, on this crutch, and they're approaching this altar, because I very much see this as this altar, and they're like, I'm thirsty, I need water. And it's like, here, you can have it, right? You can have it. It's just don't just keep coming back and just taking and taking and taking and taking, right? That's not how this works. Like, this good stuff is always here for you. Just don't just like suck it all down in one sitting. Almost like a unknowing energy vampire, right? Like someone that doesn't realize that they are just taking stuff from you, sucking the life out of you in a way. There's something here about that. This card. Oh, there's two. Like that 3 there. It definitely wants that there. And that was sitting on top of this 10 of Swords. Look, this 6 of Pentacles has been under this deck for you guys. And it keeps coming back to this position. It keeps coming back here. There is a gift for you amongst all of this. I'm not sure what's up with this card quite yet. So let me just kind of put that over here. It was saying that's a serious card to set aside. That's a serious card to set aside. So, like, we're just chilling with this for a second. We're coming to this. This 3 of Wands, it's a waiting energy in a couple of different ways. It's usually about waiting for, like, your ships to come in. That's not how this card is drawn, though. So I always see it more as, like, right, this is like the serving staff. It's kind of... I can't talk about that yet. That's spoilers for some people that might not have watched it yet. It was just showing me a scene in the newest season of The Witcher. Right, and that's where there's like party and music and these people walking around. There's like different ways that people approach this. Yeah, it was just showing me some of those characters. So without doing any of that stuff, like this is a group setting, kind of is what it's saying. This is like a group setting. And there's these people standing here almost like the wait staff to like pass off these trays and pass these hors d'oeuvres and these things around. There's this waiting energy. And it's talking about how like when you're kind of in this public space too, how you operate a little bit differently, right? When you're in a public space, you operate a little bit differently, as everyone does, right? When you go to like a work event versus your best friend's party or something, right? Like you behave very differently when you're in these different settings. Everyone does that. That's one thing. It was like, kind of like let some of that stress go. Like everyone operates and behaves a little bit differently when they're in these different settings, right? Yeah. Coming back to that envoy message and that altered carbon show and past lives and living in new bodies and living new lives and stuff like that. That's what I'm saying. It's like, even though these two figures look the same, it's like, wow, it was like waiting to like swap lives in a sense. Swapping lives, trading off items, not necessarily like swapping lives with another person. It's more like, right, that's what I'm saying. This is the same person. This is you or someone else. Like that handoff, right? Just like on to the next thing. Here it is, right? And so, and it's kind of showing it to me a little bit like a relay race too. Like when you hand off the baton to the next runner, right? And then they start running. So there's kind of one of those things where too, that's a little bit of going on here as well. How that ties back to that spiritual message of like kind of sipping on the water. That's what I mean. It's like you have to be patient. You have to wait. You have to wait for that next runner to come up to you and hand the baton. You can't just start running off with this thing. You have to wait for someone to deliver the tray. You have to wait for this to happen. You have to wait for this to happen. And it said, so in the meantime, enjoy yourself. I like that. That's what I'm saying. It's like you're thirsty. Thank you. You're thirsting after something. A higher spiritual energy is saying it's always here. It's always present. You don't have to just come like after it, right? To suck it down. That's what creates some of this energy. The other part of it is like you just need to build your patience a little bit. It's not reprimanding you. It's not like you need to be more patient. It's like you have to build your patience. You have to go with the flow. It's like a dance. It's a flow. Hand this tray. Dun, 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 dun. There's like this whole way of being is what it just said, of like you just have to flow with that being. But yes, like all of that stuff, all that deeper spiritual stuff, it's all here. And someone does support you, believes you, pays attention to this. But that's kind of one thing that they're pointing out. Now, a Ten of Swords, it wants to go back to the book for this one because Ten of Swords has a traditional meaning, but sometimes it changes depending on who wrote the deck, right? Swords. Ten of Swords. Nope, that one's pretty much the same. It says suffering, affliction, tears, sadness, desolation, impossibility of acting. No, that is a little bit different. I want to point that out. So a lot of times the word betrayal is associated with a Ten of Swords. That was not here in that definition. However, there was sadness and affliction and all of those other things. Impossibility to act is one of those things that it was talking about. Suffering, affliction, tears, sadness, desolation, impossibility of acting. Yeah, I was definitely talking more about, when I just said tears again, I was talking about tears. This was behind that when it came out. Ooh, Virgo. It just gave me the song. It said, it's my party and I'll cry if I want to, right? Hang on, let me sit with it. I like that. It said, like, parties are no fun, right? When you're secretly sad. That's kind of one thing. When you can't act, that's where it was talking about, like, building your patience. It's like, there's a lot of, someone just said, like, you have no idea how I feel, how we feel, how they feel, right? There's something here. So this is very much concealed and hidden. And it said, you have no idea how I feel. And this was hidden behind this, though. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. It's pointing out. Whew, it's talking, y'all. It's talking. Sorry. This 3-3, this is more of the environment that is kind of going together right here. It's just saying how this is more of your energy over here, Virgo, I'm feeling. I feel like this is more of your energy because this was someone speaking to you saying, like, I believe you. I believe in all these other things that you're talking about or these other connections, these things you're sensing, right? They're paying attention to you and they're taking notes too. What it was pointing out is that these are two different people, parallel. And it was saying, like, right, I recognize that sadness in you. Kind of in that bittersweet, like, namaste way of, like, I see the light. My soul recognizes your soul. My light recognizes your light. This is also, like, my sadness recognizes your sadness. Woo! Yes, Lord. Like, all that emotion just trying to slip out. That's why this is, like, trying to stay over here. You are sad, Virgo. And someone approaches and recognizes, and it says, like, I cannot give this much from this cup because I'm doing all these other things. That impossibility of acting, it does want to take that word impossible and just, like, freaking throw it out the window, right? But it's just pointing out that there's a lot of this going on. And this isn't just a cups energy. This is a swords energy. So, and they're all, like, kind of holding their heads. This is very much in the mind space constantly. That's what we're saying. Like, you have no idea how I feel. Because they can't even present the cups here to sort out the feelings. Like, their mind is very much stuck in that energy. But there's a lot there. I think that mind, your mind, and it's very much stuck there. Whew. There's a gift in all that. I'm telling you, that 6 of Pentacles was in the bottom there. There's a gift in all this. Wow, what a strange layout. It wants that here, and I think it wants 2 here. This 8 of Wands, it's movement, it's travel. It's almost like, not necessarily field trips, but you can think of it that way. Like, you have to go somewhere, you have to go do little things like that. It's movement, it's flow. We're talking about kind of like a little bit of dancing and stuff like that. I was saying how it's a dance. Like, there's that movement and flow. You have a lot of wands in here. There's a need to, and that's a fire energy. So it's not necessarily a flow. It's like a, it's got a little bit more of a to it. So I'm about, like, how I used to dance and stuff. Yeah, like, you can interpret things differently. Swords is very sharp and very cutting. It's talking about the wands is, like, very much more fast paced and, like, things moving around. Cups is flowing. You need to, that's what, yes. I've been going to the gym and starting to work out too. That's what I'm saying. It's talking about, like, picking up the pace. It's talking about, like, there's more than just flow here. There's more energy than that. Whoa. Okay, that's it. Yeah, that's the last of the cards there. These two things are holding gifts too. Just how like this one was hiding something. That's what, yeah. Okay, I think it wants these two over here. Interesting. So interesting. That's that world card speaking here. It's like encompassing all of this. Yeah. Yes. The impossibility of acting is due to kind of this having to shelter and protect a lot of what's going on. Virgo, you're being very much sheltered and protected at this time. The world is very much protecting you. The star energy is protecting you. That energy is like that workout energy of like you have to constantly like you just doing stuff, right? And it's pointing out how these wands mimic these swords. There's just so much happening. You got it all under control is what it's saying. And that's also, it's like, show me those praise arms. And that's why you're just constantly out here like doing this stuff, connecting with spirit, because like there's so much going on. You're just like I have to hold up so much stuff, almost like Atlas holding up the world. It's like I have to hold up so much stuff. Like, spirit, I need you. Woo! Spirit talking, y'all. Now it's talking about like some astrology charts and stuff, because it's just shooting across here, and it's like, thank you. There's something possibly in your star chart, in your astrology charts. There's something in those past lives. There's something in all of that work that's like leading you. It's talking about like nodes and how things correspond. And so, yeah, there's something. It just kind of was saying like predestined. There's something here where like you are at this chapter because you've been through it before, because it's required for your soul evolution, because you're in training in a way, that Atlas energy and everything. And that's where something just spoke and was like, well, it's also kind of like some Sisyphus and those other characters in like Greek hell, right? Where they're constantly rolling the boulder up the mountain just for it to roll back down, and they perpetually move it up. That is very much an energy that's over here of just like, right? And said that's hell, like having to push the same boulder up the hill over and over and over again just for it to fall back down. That's hell. And that's where like you're trying not to repeat those cycles. So you come to the altar to spirit. Spirit's like, yes, all of that stuff is here. You have to recognize your deep sadness and build your patience. And there's something here in all of this. You got this Judgment card over here. And so it's like you feel very much like this is required of you. Like this is what you're called to do at this time. You do feel like this is what you are called to do. You do feel like you are on the right path. You do feel like this is everything you're meant to be doing. It's just hard. It's just hard. Right? So you're hiding possibly like, and this could be something as simple for you folks as a battle with depression. That's not simple at all. But to other people that feels very simple, this could be something that's very much like a physical illness. This could be the whole world on your shoulders. And that's where it's just like, this is resonating in some level, some capacity with you, Virgo. And this is exactly what it's talking about. And that's where there's very much this, how we have like these two boys, there's these two girls, there's this kind of sisterly, brotherly energy of your friends around you. And they're picking your chin up, right? And it's like, this is very much like your spirit guides being like, chin up. Right, you've been through these timelines before. As I just said, all of this is here for your like spiritual evolution. And like sometimes that just doesn't feel like, it just doesn't, right? But you got some major arcanas here. And you do have spirit guides, and you do have friends, and it's like a dance. It's like a dance, and you just can't do certain moves at certain times. It's like you're in a public setting, and at the end of the day, someone comforts you and believes that all of these cards, all of this stress, all of this, I don't think I can move this way, I don't think I can do this because I have to do this, and all of that, they believe you. Whew. And that's where it was kind of like saying like, shh, right? Like it kind of did the shh thing like that. Thank you, Spirit. Ooh, this person drew this picture for you, and this is the picture with all the cards. And it was kind of talking about, you think everything is like chaos, but it's organized and it's orderly, right? And that's the whole thing. I always say, like, there's an order to things. You have to make that order out of the chaos. Thank you. It's talking about like, that's how you control it, right? And so it's just saying like everything is organized. It looks like chaos, but it's organized. And that's what this person's pointing out to you. It looks like chaos, but it's organized. And it's all this way for a reason, because something is going to unfold. And you don't have the Six of Pentacles here, but you have a Knight of Swords, and it's going to come flying in fast. So everything is where it should be, so that when it's time, everything comes through. And it's not talking about what is that comes through. It's just saying like everything's here for a reason. And it said like you gonna know, like you will see it, right? The picture will be filled in and painted for you. You will see it. Woo, that was a long message, but I don't know about y'all, but I think some people needed that. Please like, share, comment, subscribe as you see fit. Bless you. Ooh, bless your heart in that good way. That was not sarcastic. Bless your heart. And I will see you guys on the next batch of readings, all right? Thanks. Bye.